Hello, fellow faithful. It is Bulldog here, back for more of pain. That is the only way I can describe this. We have played absolutely terrible this week. I didn't think it could get much worse from just looking bad in general, and it got worse. So I fully expect to just get railed by 100 thieves here, and this is not going to be too pleasant of commentary. I try and be positive, but I don't have a whole lot to be positive about here. I haven't seen a lot, so I'm just sad.
Sag.
Yeah, Chris is here, by the way.
Hey, it's me, your boy.
Mr. Skinny Penis.
Yeah, I don't know if Broxa just doesn't think Diana's as good as everyone else does, or
I don't know.
necessarily is the priority there. Because they picked Gwen both games over Diana, and from what I've seen in like every region, Diana just looks like insanely strong.
Yeah. I've been saying for a while that I thought Diana is really good in the jungle.
Yeah, with some of the other things getting toned down, she definitely shines really hard.
Mm-hmm.
Thresh. So probably like what, Aphelios, Jinx. Probably Aphelios. Jinx is only really popular in LPL.
Yeah.
Maybe
Aphelios has started to see a resurgence.
Yeah. Aphelios can just slap lanes up.
Mm-hmm.
Um
Probably gonna be like the Rek'Sai again. Huh.
Yeah, Callista makes sense.
Yeah.
Is Callista's lane even that good in Aphelios though?
I have no idea.
I can't. Like, if they pick Jinx, obviously Callista's insane, but I would assume it's Aphelios. Like, I don't know. There's nothing else that people really pick with Thresh, right? I guess you can pick Callista, but it's not super popular. Rek'Sai? Interesting. Oh, Thresh AD carry? Nice.
That would be incredible. It would be so disrespectful. Yeah. I would expect the Aphelios. Repia is really good at it.
I mean, it just... you picked Thresh for a reason. It's usually because you're picking a super immobile AD.
Mm-hmm.
And Aphelios is getting very popular again.
Yeah. Aphelios got a little bit of a buff as well.
Fair.
I'm not sure exactly why we banned the Lucian. It's one of the things Bowbelter has actually looked competent on.
I actually don't know. I mean, it'd be a mirror of the comp that just like destroyed you, which would be like kind of tilting. Blanc. Guess it makes sense because they're playing super aggressive early game champs. Yeah, I think Jace would be a good ban, but they're...
Okay, 100 Thieves banned LeBlanc, which is weird.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't love Renekton into Gwen. Like, I think it's probably fine. Like, Renekton can play against any melee easily. Really any champion. But I don't know if I necessarily love it. I guess it's a flex pick.
I would like the Blitzcrank. The Leona's fine as well.
Pulling in Aphelios is like a dream scenario, but pulling in Renekton or Diana feels pretty terrible. Yeah, I think Leona makes way more sense. Leona's good with Callista. Man, uh,
And the
I guess just like
Syndra's fine.
straightforward.
Yeah.
But again, Syndra's gonna be on an island. Like she's not going to like play with anyone.
Yeah. Has the
Not none
long
of the
range
champions
utility
on.
that
Yeah, none of the
Pobelter needs to be able to
champions.
succeed.
Yeah. I feel like Lysandra actually would have just made more sense. Silas.
Yeah, the Silas is fine.
There's not that many good ultis. Like Callista ult is good, but kind of weird. I don't know how Gwen ult works. Do you get all 3 charges on Gwen ult?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. That's probably good.
Syndra ult is
Oh,
alright.
Solar Flare's insane. I always forget the AP ratio on Solar Flare is super good. Syndra's bad. Lista's okay.
Syndra and Rek'Sai are
But
very similar.
they're pretty bad. Rek'Sai's at least an execute. Syndra's is really, really bad for Silas.
Yeah.
It's just because it's one of those things where the ability is uniquely tied to all of the other parts of the champion's kit. Like you don't get 7 orb ultis or 6 orb or 5 orb even. With Silas, you get a 3 every time, and 3 orb ult is really low damage.
Yeah.
They have more tools to start a fight than they did in the previous game.
Yeah.
CLG does, so should be better on that front. It is kind of scary. Like Pobelter has no chance in this game. Like he has to play against Silas, Diana, and Renekton, and they're all going to be going on him, and he has no one else to play with him. He's
Yeah,
going
but
to
he
be
just
the
has to
farthest back.
hit a couple of decent stuns and press R on somebody.
Yeah, ideally they just get a pick and they layer a stun over it, and it's fantastic. But
Yeah, you don't have to ask much from Pobelter this game.
he's going to absolutely be playing on an island. Like,
Yeah, probably.
like I guess he can kind of play with Callista, but like Callista has to kind of be in there, like comparatively to Syndra, who plays at like 800 to 1,000 range. Callista plays like 400 to 600, maybe a little further.
Yeah. So, Broxah looking like he's doing the same path as last game. No, he's not. He's kiting it towards blue buff, so he's switching it up.
Why wouldn't he start blue?
That was a sick play by Huhi. I'm not sure.
Pass first blue over? I know that used to be a thing. I doubt it is now. The XP is too important early.
Yeah. I wonder if it's just how efficiently you do Wolves level 1 versus how efficiently you do Blue level 1.
Yeah, but it's still gonna waste 5 seconds regardless for the other camp to spawn. I don't know the exact timing, but something like that.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a weird path.
If you can crash this wave, you can back. You've piled the wave. Syndra should use all of her spells on the wave and reset for... maybe they don't have enough gold for it. Might not have enough gold for its here, I guess. It's really close.
Maybe.
I guess they don't want to have mid reset before 3 minutes.
Finn does lose that trade hard, but it doesn't like matter.
He's trading to reset.
Yeah.
Which gold will he have? Yeah, no. Yeah, Cobelter should have reset for sure. He definitely could have afforded his item. Or his tier. Or at least Dark Seal and a ward or something.
That was at least good to play around bot side and get the Scuttle Crab for Broxa. That was the best play they've made all week.
Gaming.
Which is tragic.
Is this wave the cannon? Yeah. Syndra again should have piled the previous wave and crashed it. But
their expectations for Pobelter are pretty high.
Like against Silas, he's got so much sustain. He took biscuits, so he has even more sustain. You're not like gaining anything, and you're like permanently on Syndra. Oh, that's pretty fortunate that he got that.
Yeah.
That was really close.
Yeah, can you not die here, bot lane? That would be much appreciated. Thank you.
Yeah, they were trying to crash, but unfortunately, it looks like it's pushing against him pretty bad. Pobelter, or not Pobelter, excuse me, Broxa was kind of guarding the dive.
Yeah.
I guess he warded there and he had Scuttle, so they knew there was no dive angle. Seems good.
Yeah, it was pretty well done. This is already the best game we played this weekend.
They haven't lost the game by 5 minutes, Bog.
Let's go. Yeah, weird that Pobelter hasn't like backed at all. Probably could have gotten a cheater back in somewhere.
I mean, that's why you have to pile waves. But now I guess you just catch that one back and teleport back. I don't know, that just seems so bad. You want, like, you could save your teleport for a play.
Some did. Oh.
Yeah, he was dead if he didn't flash.
Yeah.
Ugh. And Abadage didn't have to teleport back because he manipulated the wave correctly.
Yeah.
If Silas gets a meaningful teleport at all, I will be very disappointed in Pobelter's laning. Some to the extent that you are.
He is adequate in lane. That's all.
No, but there's a difference between like not dying in lane and like farming correctly and like
that's what
manipulating. Yeah, it's not necessarily laning.
He not dies and farms pretty correctly.
There's controlling your wave to the point where you don't have to waste teleport and you can use it as a resource for your team. Like Abadage,
yeah,
he was able to like not die or not like get chunked out enough in the early levels to the point where like since Pobelter never went back, he was able to eventually get the wave in a state with his health bar and mana bar where he could reset and not use his teleport.
Yeah. That was a nice little play by Broxa to be able to clear out the ward and get this camp. And Finn has been playing this lane well.
Seems fine other than losing your flash.
Yeah, he lost his flash, but
pretty bad.
It
not like
doesn't
the end
look
of the
like it's
world.
turned into anything yet.
I mean, they have 2.5 minutes to capitalize on it. He can't push out the lane because he's afraid. Now they lose Rift Herald. Like, it's not good that he doesn't have flash, that's for sure.
Yeah. They have more people here. Well,
yeah.
It took 8 minutes for us to just throw the game away this time. That's improvement.
Hog. How did this set up? Okay, so you're not committing your AD carry. They are, and you're like walking into them when they already have more people there.
Yeah.
It's just so bad. Did he flash?
It looked like he did.
It looks like a spectator bug because the cooldowns don't match.
Yeah. I've seen that before, where Diana E looks like a flash sometimes.
Okay.
Good lord.
Ugh.
Remember when we almost perfect gamed this team 3 weeks ago? Or 2 weeks ago?
Gaming?
Yeah.
Like,
we were gaming. Like, Pobelter has a nice lead. Really nice lead.
I mean, they clearly didn't want that fight. They were not, like, pathing like they wanted that fight.
Yeah.
And then... Ugh. How is Finn down 800 gold?
First
Blood's 400, I guess?
And was there a shutdown on it?
I doubt it.
I doubt it too. And he got a tower plate as well.
I guess.
And the assist, so makes reasonable sense. Yeah, they're playing weak side Kalista, which is really odd. They did this in Friday's game as well. They're like playing weak side Kalista. I feel like that's just not correct. I feel like there's like gotta be something.
There's no way that Aphelios Thresh can be that much stronger than Kalista Leona to the point where you can't find an angle with Rek'Sai Flash to like do anything.
Yeah.
And I feel like if you're picking Kalista to play weak side, you're trolling.
Absolutely.
But they've like done it twice now. Like they're picking Kalista like almost entirely for her ultimate.
It's a good ultimate, but it's like not worth the champion's weaknesses.
I mean, the champion just doesn't scale at all.
Yeah.
And if you're playing like, I don't know, I feel like there's just better weak side ADs.
Yeah, but Pobelter has a lead in a range versus melee matchup. It's not anything unexpected. He hasn't been able to like.
I don't know what happened to like Balloon
anything
because it was like perfectly even for like ever. Like on the teleport reset, it was even, and then
like, he was like
after
5-10 up on the teleport reset.
Okay. Basically even. Like 30 is like substantial.
Yeah. Abadage went up to help with Rift Herald, and Pobelter crashed a couple of waves, I think.
So, I feel like Pobelter's teleport timing is horrible there. Like, it's right after the dragon dies. Like, I get why he did it. He did it because he had his Luden in base,
Yeah.
and he wanted it immediately. But I feel like the timing is just so bad. Like, it's literally like 30 seconds after the dragon dies that he teleports back mid. So the cooldown to teleport won't let you teleport to the next dragon fight if I remember correctly. Like, he's just not going to have it, so he can't like side lane, or you just concede third dragon if you want him like anywhere on the map.
That could be something.
Silas. Oh, that might kill him actually.
Oh,
Oh,
there's at least
well,
one. And Smoothie. It's a pause. God. It's actually amazing to me that Scythus ever got to the point where he is, like, playable at the pro level, because I feel like there's so many bugs with his ulti. Just by the nature of the ability, it's going to have a ton of bugs.
Yeah, it's a really weird ability on top of just like, how do I say it? Like, the champion's kit seems super weird, but he just turns into like a random drain tank who has better ults than anyone in the game. Like, he just has the best ult in the game. I don't know. He's a very weird champ.
Oh, this is a long pause.
Unlucky.
Alright, so... Alright, I am at 35:55, because that is when the bug stops. I think they just... Whatever happened, they chose to play through it. I think it was probably on 100 Thieves side. So, you at 35:55?
Yeah, whenever you're ready.
Alright, 3, 2, 1, go. Oh, Smoothie got out. 1-for-1 trade. Woo.
Turtle just spam clicking R.
Yeah. He's been doing that for 10.5 minutes. But once again, a Diana is fed against us.
I wasn't paying enough attention this game for how often Syndra had the push, but Syndra should just permanently have it.
Pretty much.
It's like why you pick her.
Yeah. Feels weird that Pobelter is the only person with any sort of lead. Feels doomed, man.
Yeah, no, it's very good.
Yeah.
They sent 5 there. They just...
Yep. They sent 5, we sent 3.
I mean, they don't want to...
Yeah.
I get not wanting to fight it, but I feel like they brought people over like they were going to fight it to just leave.
Yeah. You know what, like, you know what you should do and then realize you can't do it. instead of realizing you can't do it and then getting an advantage elsewhere. You already committed too much to realize that. That's a really good pick. Holy cow. They layered things correctly. That both in damage and CC, they didn't allow Renekton to be able to just press R and not die.
Turtle denied a pretty good chunk there around the tier 1, and now he gets to crash and maybe get that tower. You should have all your CDs back for drag. I feel like, yeah, bring Callista down and get control of the area, because like, it is Cloud, so maybe it doesn't matter, but
it at least delays soul point for them.
Yeah.
Gives you another 5-6 minutes that you can play the game.
If you can get it, but again, like, they'll have everyone up.
Yeah, they do have pretty good vision control here. They have top lane in a good spot, bot lane in a good spot, mid lane. It's about even right now, so they should be able to rotate over and get the dragon. Renekton is top lane. They'll need to TP to be able to do anything. Diana's too far away, so it should be CLGs. Unless if somebody gets caught out.
It should be regardless at this point.
Yeah.
I feel like Callista could jump the wall, kill it, and then jump back. Oh my god.
That was weird.
They were just going to, like, give that.
Yeah, they sat there backing instead of doing it, and then proceeded to not be able to back because they backed. They tried to back, and then they lose mid tower out of it. It's just so poorly
I mean, they
played.
were always going to lose mid tower. Like, that's the trade. You're trading mid tier 1 for stopping the dragon stack. I think that's a perfectly reasonable trade. But like, they waited so long to, like, move. I feel like this is a particularly good cleanse game, but for Turtle. For FBI,
it's good for FBI.
Okay. Like, you probably are gonna get hit by...
They have 2 long-range stuns.
Yeah, mostly just Leona stun. You should get hit by Syndra stun, unless you're already stunned.
If Syndra's good, it can pop out of fog and pop you somewhere.
Yeah, but you shouldn't be in a position to be hit by an ability out of fog.
See? Like, Syndra E is one of those that... It's the reason she's picked. Like, you can do pretty creative things with that and get people with it.
Because of her super strong lane pressure and being able to, like, play the game through mid and having a strong mid laner always have priority. But they've nerfed her so many times that she doesn't even really have that anymore. Like, Pobelter is too far forward. Okay, not punished, but like, he was very far forward for where his team was. He had flash, I guess. It's probably fine. I feel like Pobelter needs to be mid. I feel like Pobelter could easily be top. I guess it doesn't really matter. But Pobelter has teleport, so keeping the people without teleport mid makes more sense.
It does. They are gonna get a lot of damage onto this tower, but not quite get it. There's not anything they can do about, like, the Baron. Like, no world, they take it. I don't know if Finn really should be losing that, but I didn't know the matchup well enough.
House versus Gwen?
Yeah.
mean, he's a level down. No, he's not.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
They're pretty similar champions in what they do. Do a bunch of damage and just heal a bunch as well.
yeah, I don't play either champ. I don't know. I I don't know. It looks like he's afraid to like push out at all, which is fair. They had all their people top side.
Yeah. But FBI has hit 2 items. That's like
Hurricane versus 4 auto attackers on for Callista seems good. Hurricane against or melees, not
mm-hmm.
auto attackers. Excuse me. I guess I don't know what Thresh is. Thresh is kind of Thresh.
Thresh is still technically considered melee, I think.
Can't remember. Oh, he missed the ult, right?
Finn did?
He missed the last one, right?
Abadage dodged it with stopwatch.
Oh, I thought looked like he just missed the. I might be wrong.
Yeah. But I was kind of right that I thought Finn should be able to do something in that matchup.
I have no idea. Like, it seems like nothing should happen. Like, if they like people just all into the fight, maybe someone, like, obviously someone will die, but it's not particularly clear.
Why did Pobilter get a tier on his last back?
Because he didn't do a cheater recall on his first back, and he still wanted Seraphs because Seraphs is a sweet item.
Guess he's going for Seraph's third. He's going Deathcap second. Well, that feels like a terrible
Smoothie's
timing.
the only one going in.
Yeah, that was just a terrible timing for that. That was a huge knock-up from the Callista ulti, but it doesn't matter. You guys... It was just so uncoordinated.
I mean, the second anything opens up, Diana just dives and instantly kills Syndra. Like, Syndra has absolutely no way to play the game. This is a, like, horrendous game to be a Syndra.
Yeah, that... Pobilter hit a Q.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Didn't even cast ulti in the fight. Wow. Yeah. Well, that's game.
So you've missed all of your engage tools, and then just, like, look at the backline just absolutely not being able to play the game at all. They either, like, don't follow the, like, cluster, and everyone dies for free, or they walk forward like they did and try to fight, and then just instantly die to Diana.
Well, you didn't time the flank well at all. You used all your Leona engage without any follow-up, and then you missed everything with Syndra, and you expected to stand a chance in the fight. It's not gonna happen.
I mean, again, the backline literally couldn't DPS. It was either walk forward and die or walk away and watch everyone die.
Yeah.
Like, they needed to... I mean, this is hindsight, I guess, but you need to, like, if you're going to engage with Leona like that, you can't give them, like, a good angle to run away to. Like, all they had to do was walk away. To be fair, Diana did, like, outplay the Leona ult pretty hard, but
Captain just being a dumbass snoring in the background. It's adorable.
What? I didn't know that would kill him. That's sick.
Yeah. FBI got the crit. He switched to sniper, so he got like the super long range auto attack out of it.
Yeah.
Well, we tried Finn against the world, Pobelter against the world, and Turtle against the world all this weekend, and none of them worked.
I think the most concerning thing to me is that with this game and Friday, like, what is the reason you're picking Callista? Because they're not picking Callista to win the early game because they're not playing around it at all. As you can see, he's 0-1-0, and his only death was at the dragon fight where it was too late. So you're playing. Why are we playing Callista? What is the reason that this is a pick that you have like priority on? It's like clearly what you value as the strongest AD carry, but you're not playing through it at all. Do you think it scales well? Because that's just not correct. It does not. What is the reason this is the pick? I can't piece together what their thought process is for picking Callista. Like,
I don't know what their thought. I don't even know what their thought process is for anything at this point.
Like,
it doesn't feel like we have one.
That's the most concerning thing to me, because that's literally the reason you're picking this champ. You're picking this champ to play through it because it has so much like early game power.
Mm-hmm. And it's super good mid game too. Those early team fights.
Well, yeah, early mid. Like, you want to play through it in
those first couple of team fights. You can just roll over things.
But it feels like they're actually just playing it like they're playing a scaling AD.
Yeah.
And it just looks terrible.
Oh.
They weren't behind 10,000 gold.
That'd be an okay flank. Exactly what lost them. That's the exact flank that lost them the game against Cloud9. Cloud9 just actually executed it. And 100 Thieves actually responded to it. God. Oh. This team is just straight up awful, and I don't know why. I don't know why we're this awful. God. There are teams like Team Dragon Knight that were better. This is atrocious. It's not fun to watch them at all. They just flop around and look miserable. At least do like what they do. CLG should at least do like what they do with CS:GO, and just go with an all women's team so you have some sort of gimmick. Well, their women's CS:GO team is competitive in the second tier of CS:GO. They don't compete in the top tier, but they do all right. But neither team is competitive, and it's just awful. We don't look coordinated. We don't look like we give a fuck. Like this roster has shown it clearly cannot compete for anything. It's probably time to try and make some sort of move. I would, I would look at the mid lane and see if you can do something there. That would be where I'd start.
Yeah, I have no idea. They go into a game with a plan for draft, but no plan for how to execute anything. Like it feels like they know what they want to pick. They're not going to change what they're going to pick. They have like these are the picks that are best and are always picking them regardless how they like actually fit into any sort of coherent team. But then they have no plan to execute with those champs. Like they they've identified that Callista is the strongest AD. They've identified that Syndra and Azir or whatever are the best mid laners for them. That Nautilus and Leona are the best supports for them and whatever. And they're going to pick them regardless, just because they view them as the strongest champions. They don't care how they like play together. But then when they actually get into the game with these champs, they don't think about how they're supposed to play the game out. That's again, I don't know the case. I'm sure there's certainly thought into it in some way, but this is how it like looks. And it again, I would like to know why they're picking Callista and why, like, maybe I'm not looking close enough. Maybe they're trying to play through a Callista and there's just not angles. But it just doesn't look like it. It looks like consistently they're playing through Gwen in top lane and not getting anything done or not getting enough done, and then just like letting bot get absolutely rolled. When you're picking the champ, and the reason the champ is popular and picked is because of the lane being so strong and because of like being able to snowball an early game. I'm not seeing it, and it's really it's I guess it's confusing. I don't get why that's the case. Like when they played like 2 weeks ago with like all of the straightforward go on fight comps, they would they'd play to objectives and just like all full in commit to like fights around stuff, regardless of what it may be. And they certainly didn't play those games perfect. They certainly had plenty of misplays throughout those games. But I don't know, it looked like there was
a plan.
There was a plan with the champions they had and how they intended to win the game. Like when they had Callista, they played through bottom lane and they played through Callista. And did Finn play a lot of Set? Was that the champion, or what was the champion he was playing?
Set and Kled were the two champions.
Yeah, you didn't really have to play through him much. Like he would on the Kled game, he like inted once, then he solo killed once, and like you didn't really have to play through him. He's going to do what he does, and then they just play through the other half of the map, and they look so like again, it looked like they had an idea of how to win the game with that ahead. When they've like put the resources into getting Finn ahead, they don't get him ahead enough to like do anything, and B, they don't play the game out well. They they have their top lane ahead, yet they still never get Rift Herald. They never crack tower top. They never do anything with him getting 2 kills, whatever it may be.
Yeah.
It's really confusing, and
I don't know. It feels like everything just kind of fell apart in sometime between last week and this week. And they stopped believing that they could win. They're just faking it. I don't know. It's so bad to watch. Alright, thanks people for watching. Hopefully this shit show will at least become interesting at some point. That's the hope, but see you next week.